Hello, everybody. Yoko 007 here, bringing you another exciting game in the 2008 replay with Inside Pitch. In today's game, we've got the 14-10 Baltimore Orioles taking on the 15-8 Chicago White Sox. This is game 3 of a 4-game series between the White Sox and the Orioles. Who's going to come out on top tonight? Will it be the White Sox? Will it be the Orioles? We're going to find out in 9 innings time. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for the Baltimore Orioles. Leading off, the second baseman, Brian Roberts. Batting second, the third baseman, Melvin Mora. Batting third, the right fielder, Nick Markakis. Batting fourth in the cleanup position, the first baseman, Brady Huff. Batting fifth, the left fielder, Jay Payton. Batting sixth, the designated hitter, Luke Scott. Batting seventh, the center fielder, Adam Jones. Batting eighth, the catcher, Raymond Hernandez. And batting ninth, the shortstop, Brandon Fahey. On the mound for the White Sox, it is Jose Contreras. Comes in today's game with a starting ERA of a 2.02. He's got 3 wins and 1 loss. He's pitched 26 2/3 of an inning. Allowed 18 hits, 16 strikeouts, and 11 walks. We're here at U.S. Cellular Field, which gives a +1 to strikeouts, a -1 to walks, and nothing to home runs. And with that, Brian Roberts steps up into the batter's box as the home plate umpire dusts it off, and we're ready for the first pitch. And here we go. And the pitch is a 1-2. Now we read the dice. The red die is along the top, is along the rows. So column 1, row 2. So that is a wild pitch. And nobody's on, so we're just going to roll for the batter now. And that'll be a 4-6, column 4, row 6. It's going to be a line drive to second base. Ramirez will get that. Throw it over to Corneco for out number 1. And let's take a look at the starting defense for the Chicago White Sox. We've got Quinton out there in left field. Anderson will be in center. Swisher will be at right. Going around the horn, we've got Ozuna on third. Cabrera will be at short. Ramirez will be on second. Corneco will be at first. Pazinski will be behind the plate. And Contreras will be on the mound. Melvin Mora batting a 300. And here is the pitch. And that'll be a 2-1, column 2, row 1. That is a walk. Now we -1 from the range. We give a -1 modifier to the walk range, so that'll be a 1 to 8. The 11, we check the D20, the 11 is too high. And that'll be a 3-4, column 3, row 4. Once again, it's a line drive to the shortstop. Ramirez will get that. And that'll be out number 2. 2 up, 2 down, and that's going to bring up Nick Markakis. He is batting a 270, and here is the pitch. The pitch to Markakis is a 4-2, column 4, row 2. That is a blank. And that'll be a 6-1, column 6, row 1. It's a double out there into center field. Smacks it way high over Anderson's head. He has to go back and bounce off the wall. Anderson will get it, throw it in there to Cabrera to the cutoff, and they will hold Markakis at second. So 2 outs and a runner on first. Now, first of all, when we have 2 outs and runners on base, we do add a +1 to the base run rating. Also, we do roll for strategy. Strategy roll is a 3, and that is going to bring up the cleanup hitter, Brady Huff. He is batting a 281, 2 outs, runner on second. Strategy roll is a 3, and the Orioles are standing pat. And that'll be a 5-1, column 5, row 1. That is a hit by pitch. Jose gives a -4 to the hit by pitch rating. That makes the hit by pitch a 0. The 15 is too high. And that'll be a 3-5, column 3, row 5, double star 5. And that is going to be a fly ball back there to Anderson, who will make the catch. And that will retire the side. So no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and the Orioles will leave 1 stranded. We go to the bottom of the first, and here is the starting lineup for the Chicago White Sox. Leading off, the right fielder, Nick Swisher. Batting second, the shortstop, Orlando Cabrera. Batting third, the designated hitter, Jim Thome. Batting fourth in the cleanup position, the first baseman, Paul Cornecco. Batting fifth, the catcher, A.J. Przinsky. Batting sixth, the left fielder, Carlos Quinton. Batting seventh, the second baseman, Alexi Ramirez. Batting eighth, the center fielder, Brian Anderson. And batting ninth, the third baseman, Paul Ozuna. On the mound for the Orioles, it is Jimmy Gerth. He'll come in today's game with a starting ERA of a 3.03. 2 wins and no loss. He's pitched 33 2/3 of an inning, allowed 23 hits, 20 strikeouts, and 12 walks. And with that, Nick Swisher steps up, makes his way up into the batter's box. He's batting at .267, and we're ready to start the home half of the first inning. And the pitch is going to be a 3-5, column 3, row 5. Home run on a 1-12. The 16 is too high. And that'll be a 1-2, column 1, row 2, double star 2. And that is going to be a fly ball back there to Jones. Will make the catch and put 1 away. Let's take a look at the starting defense for the Baltimore Orioles. We got Peyton out there in left field. Jones will be in center. Markakis will be at right. Going around the horn, we've got Mora on third. Fahey will be at short. Roberts will be on second. Huff at first. Hernandez will be behind the plate. And Jeremy will be on the mound. Orlando Cabrera batting a .231. And that'll be a 5-2, column 5, row 2. Possible error on a ground ball. Now, on an error check, that is the number in the brackets. Whose error range are we checking? And that's going to be a 4-4. Column 4, row 4, fly ball back then to Markakis. No error check needed, as Markakis will make the catch and put 2 away. 2 up, 2 down, Jim Thome up. He's batting a .198. And that'll be a 5-1. Column 5, row 1, strikeout on a 1-14. The 14 is in range. Remember, we add a +1 to, excuse me there. We add a +1 modifier to the strikeout range. That makes it a 1-14. The 14 is in range. Struck him out. So the Orioles retired the White Sox in order, 3 up, 3 down. No runs, no hits, and no errors. A very easy inning to score there. After 1, we're tied at 0. We go to the top of the second. It's going to be Jay Payton, Luke Scott, and Adam Jones due up for the Orioles. Jay Payton batting a 100. And that'll be a 2-4, column 2, row 4. That is a blank. And that'll be a 6-1, column 6, row 1. Ground ball to second base. Ramirez will get that. Tosses it to Cornecco, and that'll be out number 1. Luke Scott batting a .365. And that'll be a 4-3, column 4, row 3. That is the @ symbol. Anytime on the picture card, when your result comes up as the @ symbol, you resolve the play on the ballpark card. So in this case, we're going to go to U.S. Cellular Field, and we'll resolve the play, and that's going to be a 5-3. Column 5, row 3, that's going to be a ground ball down the first baseline. Cornecco will get that, and that'll be out number 2. 2 up, 2 down, Adam Jones batting a .295. And the pitch. Jones, 5-6, column 5, row 6. That is a strikeout. On a 1-14, the 18 is too high. 6-6, column 6, row 6, double star 1. It's a ground ball to second base, as Ramirez will get that. And the White Sox return the favor and retire the Orioles in order. 3 up, 3 down. No runs, no hits, and no errors. We go to the bottom of the second. It's going to be Paul Cornecco, A.J. Pierzynski, and Carlos Quentin due up for the White Sox. Paul Cornecco batting a .225. And the pitch, and that's going to be a 3-1, column 3, row 1. That is a strikeout on a 1-11. The 19 is too high. And that'll be a 1-5, column 1, row 5. Fly ball back there to Jones. And out number 1, 1 away, and that's going to bring up A.J. Pierzynski. Pierzynski batting a .397. And that'll be a 3-1, column 3, row 1. That is a strikeout on a 1-9. The 19 is too high. 2-2, column 2, row 2. It's a ground ball up the middle to Jeremy. He'll make the catch and throw it over to Huff. And that'll be 2 away. 2 up, 2 down. Carlos Quentin batting a .400. And that'll be a 5-6, column 5, row 6. That is a blank. And that'll be a 1-4, column 1, row 4. It's a ground ball down the third baseline to Mora. He'll get it, throw it over to Huff. And that will retire the side. So no runs and no hits and no errors as the Orioles retire the White Sox in order, 3 up, 3 down. We go after 2. We're tied at 0. We go to the top of the third, and that is going to be Raymond Hernandez, Brandon Fahey, and Brian Roberts due up for the Orioles. Raymond Hernandez batting a .276. And the pitch. And that'll be a 1-4, column 1, row 4. That is a strikeout on a 1-9. That is a 6. Struck him out. And that'll put 1 away. Brandon Fahey batting a .333. And that'll be a 2-5, column 2, row 5. Possible error on a ground ball. And that'll be a 3-5, column 3, row 5, double star 1. It's a ground ball to Ramirez. His error range is on a 1 to 5. That is a 16. No error there. Ramirez will get it, throw it over to Cornecco. And that'll be out number 2. We go to the top of the order, Brian Roberts, who is 0 for 1, and the pitch. And that'll be a 5-5, column 5, row 5, strikeout on a 1 to 10. That is a 2. Struck him out. So the Orioles go down in order. We've got no runs, no hits, no errors, and none left on. We go to the bottom of the third. It's Alexi Ramirez, Brian Anderson, and Paul Ozuna due up for the White Sox. Ramirez batting a .250. And that'll be a 3-5, column 3, row 5, home run on a 1 to 12. That is an 8. That ball is high. That ball is long. And that ball is out of here. Solo home run for Alexi Ramirez. As he hits it dead center, Jones chasing it, and that ball bounces off of the scoreboard. It is out of here. And the White Sox take a 1-run lead here in the bottom of the third for Ramirez. That is his first home run of the replay. And with that, that's going to bring up Brian Anderson, who's batting a .167 and the pitch. And that'll be a 1-3, column 1, row 3, double start. Now, double start off of the pitcher card. If you're playing the physical cards and dice game, what you'll do is you'll take 1d6, roll it, and that'll determine the auto out. So that'll determine the line on the double star line. also known as the auto outline. Here in the PC game, it will randomly choose it, and that's going to be a fly ball back there to right field as Makakis will get underneath it and makes the catch and puts one away. One out, nobody on, and that's going to bring up Pablo Ozuna. He's batting a 308, and that'll be a 4-6, column 4, row 6. That is a strikeout on a 1-5. The 16 is too high. 6-6, column 6, row 6. That's going to be a ground ball down the third baseline to Mora. Mora will make the catch, and that'll put two away. We go to the top of the order. Nick Swisher, 0 for 1, and the pitch. Swisher, 6-6, column 6, row 6. Now, Swisher is a switch hitter. Now, switch hitter, he's going to be batting left today. So, on a split result off of the pitcher card, you're going to check to look to see if the batter is left or right-handed. In the case of a switch hitter, he's always going to be batting on the opposite side of the pitcher. So, in this case, Switcher will be batting left, and that is a blank. So we'll look to the left-handed side of the slash, and that is a blank, and that's going to be a 1-6, column 1, row 6. That's a pop-up down the first baseline. Huff gets underneath it. Jeremy's pointing to it. And that'll be out number 3. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, and none left on. After 3, it's Chicago 1, Orioles nothing. We go to the top of the 4th. It's going to be Melvin Moore, Nick Markakis, and Abreu Huff due up for the Orioles. Melvin Moore is 0 for 1, and here is the pitch. 1-6, column 1, row 6. Now, we have a range play off of the ballpark card. Now, on a range play, we check the first number of the defense. Whose range are we checking? And that'll be a column 1, row 5. It's going to be a power hit to Swisher. Now, first of all, we're going to determine what the hit is going to be. Is it going to be a single? Now, if it's a single, it's going to happen on a 1-4. Double happens on a 5-9. 10-14, that ball is... see you later. That ball is out of here. It's an 18, so it's going to be a fly out. Now, Swisher's range is on a 1-3. That is a 1-3. Now we take 1d6, roll it against Swisher's range. His range is on a 1-3. If it's a 1, 2, or 3, Swisher will make the catch. If it's a 4, 5, or 6, there'll be a no catch there. We'll determine if that would be a single or double by the roll of a d20. In this case, it's a 3, and Swisher will make the catch. Had to chase it a little bit there to make the catch, but out number 1. Nick Markakis is 1 for 1 with a double. And that'll be a 3-4, column 3, row 4. Possible error. Whose error range are we checking? 1-1, column 1, row 1. It's a ground ball down to second base to Ramirez. His error range is on a 1-5. It's a 3. Ramirez will make an error, and it's a 1-base error. So with that, Markakis will get on by an E4. Abreu Huff 0 for 1. Runner on first with 1 out. Strategy rolls an 11, and the infield goes to double play depth. Now, on double play depth, the range is a -1. Ground double plays get a +1, and the runner on the base run rating on third gets a -1. And that'll be a 4-3, column 4, row 3, at the ballpark. So we'll resolve the play on the ballpark card, and that is going to be a 3-5, column 3, row 5, HRP. It's a home run down the third to right field. So home run ranges on a 1-18. That is a 5, and that ball is out of here. Swisher goes back, but that ball is high, that ball is deep, and that ball is see you later. And the Orioles take a one-run lead. It's a two-run home run by a Bray Huff. And Huff hits his sixth home run of the replay. It's 2-1. Orioles will flip the scoreboard. And that is going to bring up Jay Payton. Payton is 0 for 1. And the pitch, no, one out, nobody on. Infield back to normal depth. And that's going to be a 5-6, column 5. Row 6, strikeout on a 1-12. That is a 6. Struck him out. And Luke Scott, 0 for 1. 2 outs, nobody on. And that'll be a 4-4, column 4, row 4, double question mark. Now, on a double question mark, that is the only thing we follow right now because the pitcher is not tired. And that'll be a single and a 1-4. The 15 is too high. And that'll be a 4-3, column 4, row 3. That's going to be a base hit down the first baseline. And with that, Luke Scott is on with a base hit. Adam Jones, 0 for 1. Strategy roll is a 9. Orioles holding off. And the pitch. And that'll be a 4-6, column 4, row 6. That's going to be a walk on a 1-4. That is a 3. It is in range because remember we -1 for the range for the walk. And that'll put runners on first and second. 2 outs. Strategy roll is a 20. That's going to be a pickoff on a 1-2. Anytime you roll a 20 on the strategy die, it's an automatic pickoff chance. So in this case, on a 1-2, it's a pickoff. It's an 18, nothing happens. 1-6, column 1, row 6. That's going to be a range play, once again, at the ballpark. And that is going to be a 3-3, column 3, row 3, HRP. And that time it's going to go to Quentin. Ranges on a 1-13 for the home run. That is a 5. And that is a 3-run home run this time. And the Orioles will take a 4-run lead on a ball hit out there to left field. Hernandez that's his second home run of the replay. As it goes down the left field side. Brandon Fahey up. Fahey is 0 for 1 and the pitch. And that'll be a 1-3, column 1, row 3. That is a walk on a 1-2. The 19 is too high. 1-5, column 1, row 5. That is going to be a single out there to second base. Past the second baseman, Ramirez won't make that catch. So 2 outs, runner on first. Strategy roll is a 17. Orioles are going to stand pat. We go to the top of the order. Brian Roberts, 0 for 2 with a strikeout and the pitch. And that'll be a 2-2, column 2, row 2. That is a blank. 2-2, column 2, row 2. Fly ball back there to right field. Swisher will go back underneath it. Makes the catch. And that will retire the side. So 5 runs, 4 hits, and 1 error. And the Orioles will leave 1 stranded. We go to the bottom of the 4th. It's going to be Orlando Cabrera, Jim Thome, and Paul Cornecco due up for the White Sox. Orlando Cabrera, 0 for 1, and here is the pitch. And that'll be a 6-5, column 6, row 5. It's a range play. Whose range are we checking? 1-6, column 1, row 6. It is a single to Roberts. Now, Roberts' range is on a 1 to 3. It's a 1. Roberts will make the catch. He had a hustle for it, gets it, tosses it to Huff, who will make the catch. And Roberts is 4 for 10 on his range plays. Jim Tomei 1 out, nobody on. Tomei is 0 for 1 with a strikeout. And the pitch 2-4, column 2, row 4. That is a blank. And that'll be a 2-6, column 2, row 6. It's a ground ball down the third baseline to Mora. Mora will get it, throw over to Huff. And that'll be out number 2. Paul Konecko is 0 for 1, and here is the pitch. And that'll be a 2-5, column 2, row 5. Possible error on a throw. And that'll be a 3-5, column 3, row 5. Ground ball to Mora. Mora's range is on, error range is on a 1 to 7. It's a 7. It's a throwing error. And what does he do? He throws it wide. Has tough. So it's a 1-base error. It's a 1-base throwing error. And we can mark that one down as an E5. AJ Pazinski is up. He is 0 for 1. Strategy roll is an 8. White Sox are going to hold off. And here is the pitch. And that'll be a 4-3, column 4, row 3. That is a walk. On a 1 to 2, the 18 is too high. 6-4, column 6, row 4. That's going to be a fly ball back there to Markakis. He'll make the catch. And that will retire the side. So no runs, no hits, and 1 error. And the White Sox will leave 1 stranded. After 4, it's Orioles 5, White Sox 1. We go to the top of the 5th. It's going to be Melvin Mora, Nick Markakis, and Abreu Huff due up for the Orioles. Melvin Mora, who is 0 for 2, and the pitch. By the way, Jose can face 7 more batters before he is considered tired. And that'll be a 5-4, column 5, row 4. That is a blank. I would consider that a blank right now because Jose has not faced his allotted number of batters. 1-6, column 1, row 6. That is going to be a pop up to Ozuna. He'll make the catch there. And that'll be 1 away. Nick Markakis, who is 1 for 2 with a double and a run scored. And here is the pitch. 4-5, column 4, row 5. That is going to be a walk plus. Now, on a walk plus, we add 10 to the walk range. -1 because here at US Cellular Field, it's a -1 modifier to the walk. So we add 9 to the 15. That's going to be a 1 to 24. That is a 2, and that's going to be an automatic walk. So with that, Markakis will trot on down to first, and that's going to bring up Abreu Huff. Huff is 1 for 2 with a home run, a run, and 2 RBIs on the day. Strategy roll is a 19. Orioles standing pat. And the pitch is going to be a 5-6, column 5, row 6. Strikeout on a 1 to 9. The 10 is too high. 1-2, column 1, row 2. Fly ball back there to Swisher. He'll make the catch. And that'll put 2 away. And that is going to bring up Jay Payton. Payton is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Strategy roll is a 15. Infield at normal depth. And here is the pitch. And that'll be a 3-6, column 3, row 6. That is a blank. Payton 6-5, column 6, row 5, double star 4. That's going to be a ground ball down the first baseline to Corneco, who will make the catch. And that will retire the side. So no runs, no hits, and no errors, and one left on for the Orioles. We go to the bottom of the fifth. Carlos Quentin, Alexi Ramirez, and Brian Anderson due up for the White Sox. Carlos Quentin, who is 0 for 1, and the pitch. And that'd be a 3-3, column 3, row 3. That is a strikeout on a 1-9. That is a 4. Struck him out. And that is going to bring up Alexi Ramirez, who is 1 for 1 with a home run, a run, and an RBI. And that'll be a 2-4, column 2, row 4. That is a blank. 3-1, column 3, row 1. It's a double out there in the left field. Smacks it down the left field side. Peyton has to go chase it. Gets it, throws it back to Fahey. And Ramirez is on with a double. Brian Anderson is 0 for 1, runner on second, infield at normal depth, strategy roll is a 14. White Sox are going to hold off, and here is the pitch. And that'll be a 5-5, column 5, row 5, home run chance on a 1-17. The 4 is in range. However, Anderson's home run range for a right-handed pitcher is 0. And that'll be a 2-2, column 2, row 2, ground ball to Guthrie, to Jeremy. He'll make the catch. And with that, it'll be out at first. Ramirez will hold on that. So the base run rating needed to be lesser than the die roll for him to go to third, and it wasn't. So he will hold at second. Pablo Ozuna is 0 for 1, 2 outs, runner on second. Strategy roll is a 7, infield at normal depth, and the pitch. 6-1, column 6, row 1. It's a range play at the ballpark. And that is going to be a 3-1, column 3, row 1, HRP. That's a fly ball to left field. Peyton will chase it. His range is on a 1-4. That is a 3. He'll make the catch. And that will retire the side. So no runs, 1 hit, no errors. And the White Sox will leave 1 stranded. After 5, it's Orioles 5, White Sox 1. We go to the top of the 6th. Luke Scott, Adam Jones, and Raymond Hernandez due up for the Orioles. Luke Scott 1 for 2 today with a run scored. And here is the pitch. And that'll be a 3-3, column 3, row 3. It's a range play. Whose range are we checking? And that'll be a 6-6, column 6, row 6, double star 3. That's going to be a ground ball to Cabrera. His range is on a 1-4. It's a 3. Cabrera will make the catch, throw it over to Paul. And he's 9 for 13 on range plays with that. Adam Jones is 0 for 1 with a walk and a run scored. And the pitch, and that's going to be a 5-1, column 5, row 1. That is a hit by pitch. Jose will give a -4. That makes it a 6. The 18 is too high, and that'll be a 4-2, column 4, row 2. Base hit out there into left field. And Jones will get on with a base hit. So Jose can face one more batter before he is considered tired. The bullpen for the White Sox starting to warm up. His pull rating has already reached 0. So that means when the pull rating reaches 0, you can decide if you want to keep him in or if you want to pull him on that. So we're going to keep him in there. He can face one more batter. Raymond Hernandez is 1 for 2 today with a home run, a strikeout, a run, and it's been a 3 RBI day for him. And that'll be a 5-6, column 5, row 6. That is a strikeout on a 1-9. That is a 9. Struck him out. And that's his fourth strikeout today in the game today. And that's going to bring up Brandon Fahey. Fahey is 1 for 2. Strategy roll is a 1. It is a steal attempt. Let's see. Jones is right. So that's going to be a +3, +2. That's going to be a +5. That'll make it a 20. And that is a 13. And Jones will successfully steal second. And here is the pitch. And that'll be a 6-2. Column 6, row 2. Home run chance on a 1-5. The 7 is too high. So on a home run chance, first of all, we check the home run question mark. See if the blue die falls within his home run range. It does not. So we don't proceed any further with the home run check. And that'll be a 5-2, column 5, row 2, double star 4, ground ball to Corneco, who will make the catch. And that will retire the side. So no runs, 1 hit, and no errors, and 1 left on for the Orioles. We go to the bottom of the 6th, and it's the top of the order. Nick Swisher, Orlando Cabrera, and Jim Thome due up for the White Sox. Swisher is 0 for 2 today. Jeremy can face 9 more batters before he is considered tired. And that'll be a 5-5, column 5, row 5. Home run chance on a 1-14. The 19 is too high. And that'll be a 2-3, column 2, row 3, double star 3. Fly ball back there. Markakis will get underneath it. Makes the catch and puts 1 away. Orlando Cabrera 0 for 2, and the pitch. And that'll be a 1-5, column 1, row 5. That is a walk on a 1-8. That is a 5. It is in range, and that is going to be a walk. So they'll walk Cabrera down to first. So he'll trot on down. Strategy roll is a 7. Jim Thome is up. He is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Infield at normal depth, and here is the pitch. And that'll be a 4-2, column 4, row 2, hit by pitch. That is a 4. The die roll is the blue die is a 6. And remember, Jeremy will give a -1 on that. So that'll be a 3-2, column 3, row 2. That'll be a fly ball back there to Jones. Now, split result off of the batter card. You take a look at the pitcher and see if the pitcher is left or right-handed. In this case, Jeremy is a right-handed pitcher, so off the batter card, we do look to the right-handed side of the slash, and that'll put 2 away. And that is out number 2. Paul Corneco is 0 for 2. Strategy roll is a 6. White Sox standing pat, and here is the pitch. And that'll be a 1-5, column 1, row 5. That is a walk on a 1-17. That is an 8. That is good for a walk. And that'll put runners on first and second. A.J. Pierzynski is 0 for 2. Strategy roll is an 11. And that'll be a 5-6, column 5, row 6. That is a blank. Pierzynski, 5-6, column 5, row 6, double star 5, ground ball to the shortstop to Fahey. He'll make the catch, and that will retire the side. So no runs, no hits, and no errors, and the White Sox will leave 2 stranded. After 6, it's Orioles 5, White Sox 1. We go to the top of the 7th. It's going to be top of the order for the Orioles. Brian Roberts, Melvin Mora, and Nick Markakis due up for the Orioles. So we do have a new pitcher on the mound for the White Sox as Jose does come out of the game. And they are going to go with DJ Carrasco. He's going to come in. So J.D. Carrasco come into the game with an ERA of a 3.16. He's got no wins and no losses. He's pitched 5 2/3 of an inning, allowed 4 hits, 4 strikeouts, and 2 walks. Taking a look at the stats here for Jose, he went 6 innings, allowed 6 hits, 5 runs, 4 earned runs, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts, 2 home runs, an ERA of a 2.75. Top of the order, Brian Roberts is 0 for 3 with a strikeout and the pitch. And that'll be a 6-5, column 6, row 5. That is a strikeout on a 1 to 10. The 15 is too high. And that'll be a 3-3, column 3, row 3. Power hit to Quentin. On a 1 to 2, it's a single. 3, it's a double. 4 to 11, it's a triple. It's a 5. That's going to be a triple. And that is a triple out there in the left field. Quentin having to go chase it. Anderson will come over to help him. However, Roberts gets on third as he'll pick up a triple to start off the 7th inning. Melvin Mora, 0 for 3 today. Is Mora going to take the hit here? He is. Runner on third, and that's going to be a 3-3, column 3, row 3. That is a strikeout. On a 1 to 9, that is a 5. Struck him out. And that'll put 1 away. Nick Barkakis, 1 for 2 today with a double, a walk, and a run scored. 5-3, column 5, row 3. That is a walk. On a 1 to 14, that is a 2. And that'd be good for a walk. So, runners on the corners, infield at normal depth, and a Bray Huff, who is 1 for 3 with a home run, a run, and 2 RBIs. Up to bat, and the pitch. And that'll be a 6-2, column 6, row 2. That is a strikeout. On a 1 to 9, the 16 is too high. And that'll be a 3-5, column 3, row 5. Double star 5. That's going to be a fly ball back there to Quentin. He'll make the catch. Now, is it deep enough for it to be a sac fly? We'll take a look at the sacrifice rating. That is a 3. We'll take 1d6. Roll to get. If 1d6 is lower than the SF rating of the batter, plus the MOD the runner scores. Sacrifice rating is a 3. The MOD rating will add a +1 to that. That's where we get the 3. The D6 is a 1. So that is a sac fly. And the Orioles have a 5-run lead at 6-1 Baltimore. 2 outs, runner on first. And that's going to bring up Jay Payton. Payton is 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Nothing on the strategy roll. Now, strategy rolls are turned off. And the reason and how we know that they're turned off is we take the difference of the score. It's 6-1, so it's a 5-run difference of the game. In the game, we take that 5, add it to the inning we're in. We're in the 7th inning, so 5 plus 6 is 12. If the number you get when you add the difference to the inning, if it's greater than 10, you do not roll for strategy until the number is less 10 or less. Payton, 0 for 3. 6-6, column 6, row 6. Double question mark, double star on a 1 to 11. That is a 3. It's in range. It's a fly ball back there to Swisher. He'll make the catch and sing, "Take Me Out to the Ball Game." One run, 1 hit, and no errors, and 1 left on for the Orioles. We go to the bottom of the 7th. It's Carlos Quentin, Alexi Ramirez, and Brian Anderson due up for the White Sox. Jeremy Garthwaite's still out there on the mound. He can face 4 more batters before he is considered tired. So let's take a look at the box score after 6.5 have been played here at U.S. Cellular Field. The Orioles scored 5 runs in the 4th inning and 1 run in the top of the 7th. It's 6 runs on 7 hits with 1 error committed. The White Sox have scored 1 run all the way back in the 3rd inning, and they've been held to that on 1 run with 2 hits and 1 error. 9 hits between both teams, with 2 errors committed with an error each. We go to the bottom of the 7th. It's 6, 7, and 8 due up in the White Sox lineup. No change to the Orioles defense. Carlos Quentin is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Is Quentin going to take the hit here? He is. And that'll be a 1-4. Column 1, row 4. Double star. That's going to be a fly ball back there to Jones into center field. Jones eyes it up, makes the catch, and puts 1 away. Alexi Ramirez is 2 for 2 today with a double, a home run, a run, and an RBI. And the pitch, and that'll be a 2-1, column 2, row 1. It's a strikeout. On a 1-8, the 16 is too high. 6-5, column 6, row 5, double star 3. And that is going to be a fly ball back there to Markakis, who will make the catch. And that puts 2 away. Brian Anderson is 0 for 2. Anderson going to take the hit here. He is. And with that, that'll be a 2-2, column 2, row 2. That is a strikeout. On a 1-17, that is a 17. Struck him out. And that will retire the side as the Orioles retire the White Sox in order. No runs, no hits, and no errors, and none left on. After 7, it's Orioles 6, White Sox 1. We go to the top of the 8th. Luke Scott, Adam Jones, and Raymond Hernandez due up for the Orioles. New pitcher on the mound as DJ Carrasco comes out of the game. And with that, they're going to go with Octavio Dotel. Dotel will come into the game. He comes in the game with a 3.70 ERA. No wins and no losses. He's pitched 7 1/3 of an inning, allowed 6 hits, 14 strikeouts, and 5 walks. Taking a look at the stats here for JD, he went 1 inning, allowed 1 hit, 1 run, 1 earned run, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout, an ERA of a 4.03. 6, 7, and 8 due up in the lineup. Corneco is going to come out at first. And no, he is not. They're going to keep everything as is. Luke Scott is 1 for 3. Let's see. Yeah, they're going to keep everything as is. Luke Scott 1 for 3 with a run scored, and here is the pitch. So no changes to their defense. 1-6, column 1, row 6 at the ballpark. We're going to go to U.S. Cellular Field, and that's going to be a 5-4, column 5, row 4. HR8, home run back there to Anderson on a 1-11. The 13 is in range. That ball is out of here. Solo home run by Luke Scott. By Luke Scott down center field. It's 7-1 Orioles. Luke Scott with his 7th home run of the replay. Adam Jones is 1 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. And the pitch. And that'd be a 5-6, column 5, row 6. Possible error on a ground ball. And that'd be a 6-5, column 6, row 5. Ground ball to Dodal up the middle. Dodal's error range is on a 0. That is an 8. And out number 1. Raymond Hernandez, who is 1 for 3 with a home run, 2 strikeouts, a run, and 3 RBIs. They are going to pitch to him. And that'll be a 5-5, column 5, row 5. Strikeout plus. Now, strikeout plus is the same as a walk plus, where we add 10 to the strikeout range, and we'll add the +1 modifier to it. So we're adding 11 to his range. That is a 1 to 19. That is a 7. Struck him out. And that'll bring up Brandon Fahey. Fahey, who is 1 for 3, and the pitch. 2 outs, nobody on. And that'll be a 3-2, column 3, row 2. Strikeout plus on a 1 to 25. That is a 15. Struck him out looking. And that will retire the side. So 1 run, 1 hit, and no errors, and none left on for the Orioles. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Paul Ozuna, Nick Swisher, and Orlando Cabrera due up for the White Sox. Jeremy Garthwaite going back out there on the mound. He's got a little bit left in the tank. Can he hold it up? And that'll be a 3-4, column 3, row 4. That is a strikeout. However, the bullpen for the Orioles is starting to get warmed up. On a 1 to 5, the 18, however, is too high. 6-6, column 6, row 6. That's going to be a ground ball to Mora, who will make the catch. And that'll be out number 1. And with that, Jeremy is tired, so they are giving him the 1 more. If he gets 1 runner on base, they are going to pull him. So Swisher is up. He is 0 for 3. And here is the pitch. Swisher going to take the hit, and that's going to be a 1-4. Column 1, row 4. Double star. It's going to be a fly ball back there to Jones. Jones will make the catch. And that'll put 2 away. 2 up, 2 down. Orlando Cabrera, who is 0 for 2 with a walk. Cabrera going to take the hit. And that'll be a 5-4, column 5, row 4 at the ballpark. We're going to go to U.S. Cellular Field, and that's going to be a 6-3, column 6, row 3. It's a ground ball to Mora. He'll make the catch, and that will retire the side. So no runs, no hits, and no errors as the Orioles retire the White Sox in order. 3 up, 3 down. Very easy inning to score there. Nothing across the board. After 8, it's Orioles 7, White Sox 1. We go to the top of the 9th. It's Brian Roberts, Melvin Mora, and Nick Markakis due up for the Orioles. Will we see some 9th inning magic? Let's take a look at the scoreboard after 8 innings have been played here at U.S. Cellular Field. The Orioles scored 5 runs in the 4th inning, a run in the 6th. They picked up a run in the 8th inning. It's 7 runs on 8 hits with 1 error committed. The White Sox scored a run all the way back in the 3rd, and they've been held to that 1 run. It's 1 run on 2 hits with 1 error committed. We do have a new pitcher on the mound for the White Sox, and that is going to be and they're going to bring in Nick Massett. Massett's going to come in for the top of the 9th. He comes into the game with a 5.74 ERA. He's got 1 win and 1 loss. He's pitched 4 2/3 of an inning, allowed 2 hits, 2 strikeouts, and 6 walks. Taking a look at the stats here for Dodal. Dodal went 1 inning, allowed 1 hit, 1 run, 2 strikeouts, 1 home run, and an ERA of a 4.34. So top of the order for the Orioles is Brian Roberts going to take the hit here. Roberts is not gonna. Roberts is gonna take the hit here. He's 1 run. He's 1 for 4 today with a triple, a strikeout, and a run scored. They are gonna let Roberts take the hit here. It's gonna be a 1-5. Column 1, row 5. That is a strikeout. On a 1 to 10, the 12 is too high, and that'd be a 4-5. Column 4, row 5. Fly ball back there to Quinton. Quinton will make the catch, and that will put one away. Melvin Mora 0 for 4. Mora not taking the hit here. And they're going to bring in Oscar Salazar. Salazar will come in to pinch hit. First time we're seeing him. He's played in 2 games. So this is his first official at bat. And that'll be a 3-4, column 3, row 4. That is a strikeout on a 1 to 8. The 10 is too high. And that'll be a 1-1, column 1, row 1. It's a ground ball up the middle to Massett. Massett will make the catch, and that'll put 2 away. 2 up, 2 down, Nick Markakis, who is 1 for 2 today with a double, 2 walks, and a run scored. And here is the pitch. And that'll be a 1-6, column 1, row 6. That is a blank. And that'll be a 4-1, column 4, row 1. Line drive up the middle to Massett. Will make the catch, and that will retire the side. So 3 up, 3 down, no runs, no hits, and no errors. We go to the bottom of the 9th. And at third, they're going to have Scott Moore come in at third base. So Huff at first. And Salazar will take over at first. No, they're not going to do a double switch here. Jeremy Garthwaite will come out of the game for the Orioles, and they are going to go with, they're going to bring in Jamie Walker. Yep. Walker will come into the game here. Walker comes up to the mound walks up there to the mound. He's got a 5.74 ERA. No wins and 1 loss. He's pitched 4 2/3 of an inning, allowed 4 hits, 3 strikeouts, and 2 walks. Taking a look at the stats here, Jeremy, who went 8 innings, allowed 2 hits, 1 run, 1 earned run, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts, and 1 home run. An ERA of a 2.66. Almost went the distance as well. So 3, 4, and 5 in the lineup for the White Sox. Jim Thome, who is 0 for 3. Thome going to take the hit. And that'd be a 6-6, column 6, row 6. That is a strikeout on a 1 to 16. The 2 is in range. Struck him out. 1 away, and that'll bring up Paul Konecko. Konecko, who is 0 for 2. Konecko going to take the hit here. And that'll be a 4-2, column 4, row 2. That's going to be good for a base hit. So the White Sox need 6 to tie, 7 to win, and Konecko will get on with a base hit. And we do have a pinch runner coming up here. And they're going to bring in Weiss to pinch run here. A.J. Przinsky, 1 out, runner on third. Przinsky going to take the hit. Yeah, that'll be a 3-5, column 3, row 5. It's a wild pitch On a 1 to 15, it's a wild pitch. 16 to 18, it's a passed ball. However, it's a 20. Nothing happens. And that'll be a 4-5. Column 4, row 5. Double star 2. It's going to be a fly ball back there to Markakis, who will make the catch. And that'll put 2 away, and the White Sox are now down to the last out. Carlos Quentin 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Quentin going to take the hit here. And that'll be a 4-5. Column 4, row 5. That is a blank. And that'll be a 2-3. Column 2, row 3. It's a ground ball to Mora. Mora will make the catch. And that is the ball game as the Baltimore Orioles defeat the Chicago White Sox of a final score of 7-1. No runs, 1 hit, and no errors, and the White Sox will leave 1 stranded. Final line score coming right up. So the Baltimore Orioles pick up the win here. 7 runs, 7-1. Orioles 7 runs on 8 hits with 1 error. The White Sox 1 run on 3 hits with 1 error. Jeremy Garthwaite gets the win. Jose Contreras will pick up his loss. Bray Huff hits his 6th home run of the replay. Luke Scott hits his 7th. Raymond Hernandez hits his 2nd home run. And Alexi Ramirez will hit his 1st home run of the replay. Take a look at the stats here. Jeremy Garthwaite, who will pick up the win. He went 8 innings, allowed 2 hits, 1 run, 1 earned run, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts, 1 home run, an ERA of a 2.66. Jose Contreras picks up his 2nd loss. He went 6 innings, allowed 6 hits, 5 runs, 4 earned runs, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts, 2 home runs, an ERA of a 2.75. Nick Massett, the last pitcher up for the White Sox, he went 1 inning, nothing across the board there, an ERA of a 4.73. So that is going to do it for us here at U.S. Cellular Field as the Baltimore Orioles will improve to 15-10. And the Chicago White Sox will drop to 15-9. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like and a thumbs up on your way through the turnstile. And remember to click that bell notification to be notified of when new videos in the 2008 replay go up. And when I go live with all of the Philadelphia Phillies games. Until then, I'm Yoko007. We'll see you for another exciting game in the 2008 replay with Inside Pitch. Until then, take care, everyone. Bye-bye.